Hi, welcome to my channel, Notes by LaRue. It is yours truly, Deidre LaRue, and here I strive to bring you hope, motivation, and encouragement one note at a time. If you are new to my channel, hell, I think I'm new to my channel. I haven't been on here in 4 months. But if you are new to my channel and would like to become one of my beloved note takers, please make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. Now that the rules are out of the way, grab a pen and a pad and prepare to take some notes because class is officially in session. Don't ask me where I've been. Just say, hey, girl, we have to have you back. No, seriously, I have been MIA for quite some time for a variety of reasons. One, I just really have not been motivated. I have not been dedicated. Kind of was in a funk, whatnot. Lost my zeal, my groove or whatnot. And essentially, I stopped everything. I stopped blogging. I stopped working on my YouTube channel. I stopped working on my books. I mean, I was really down in the dumps and I didn't know why, but I'm happy to say that I am finding my way back to myself. So I thought, hey, why not start and just get on here and do a YouTube video? Because again, like I said, a lot has happened since my last upload. One of the biggest things in particular is after 13 years of being on my job, I am happy to say that I am no longer working there. To be totally honest, this was none of my doing. It didn't really catch me by surprise because for a year and 3 months, God had literally been preparing me for this. It was just a matter of when it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. I just did not know when it was going to happen. But needless to say, I'm happy that it did happen because for quite some time now, I was seeking other opportunities, to be totally honest with you all. It's not that I did not love my job, that I did not love what I did, or, the pay was not, worth it, because it absolutely was. And that was matter of fact, that was the best job I have had in my entire life. I really didn't even treat it as a job because it was more so my passion. It was something that, drove me every day, something that motivated me, something that inspired me and, kept me going, so like I said, it was not a job. I didn't consider it a job. People, they have their typical Monday mornings where it's like, oh my God, it's Monday, I got to go to work. Me, on the other hand, I was like, oh my God, it's Monday, I'm going to work. But I was like that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But after, I would say probably about a year and a half to almost 2 years of me being in this role, because I was in this role just shy of 3 years to be exact. But during this time that I was in this role, I will say this. It did not come without its ups and downs, its hardships. I will say this, it really did challenge me. I know it's so cliche to say, but it really did make me somewhat of a better person. It exposed, or I should say, opened my eyes up to some things that I was doing that I did not know that I was actually doing them, whatnot. But like I said, there's neither here nor there, but essentially I wanted to get on here. There's no script. I never really have a script, but I just wanted to get on here and talk about tapping into what's next, seeking opportunities that you've always wanted to seek, but for whatever reasons, you chose not to do them. I've talked on here plenty of times before about people allowing fear to hold them back. And I would say for me personally, because you all know I suffer with anxiety, like extremely bad. But my anxiety and my fear, which fear is really anxiety, my fear and my anxiety has kept me back from a lot of things. There have been so many things I wanted to do, so many opportunities that were offered to me, but I declined them because I always felt like, maybe I'm not good enough. Well, I don't think I'm going to do a good job, or that's not really the direction that I'm trying to go into, whatnot. So I always say, nah, I'll pass. Something else is greater and better, and it's coming on the way. And so I kept saying that for the last position that I was in, because like I said, when it got to my 2-year mark, I was like, okay, Lord, surely there is something else that I need to be doing, because I felt I had done my due diligence of what was required of me. And I just looked at it this way. Okay, I've come in, I've done exactly what you asked me to do, guys. So I really feel like it is time for me to move on to something else. But we all know that God orders our steps, and I don't care how antsy or anxious you are, I should say, to move on to what you feel like it's the next best thing. He's not going to move you until it is time for you to move. Remember, we operate in Kairos time, I mean God's time, the opportune time. So nothing is ever essentially of our timing. We can try to make things happen in our time, but God is going to always bring things to a halt, and that's what happened to me. I have always wanted to be a academic dean of some sort for a college, because that's all I know. I've been working in the collegiate system, with educational system, for 13 years. Like I said, it's all I know. It's what I enjoy doing. I'm a people person. I am very student oriented. So I always felt like my next level up was to be an academic dean, because why not? The academic dean is the one that works closely with the students, the faculty and staff, and they're what I feel like are advocates for the students. So I was like, you know what? That's my next role. That is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm about to get out this role. So I applied for so many dean positions, and one after the next, rejected. One would think that, you would give up, but I was not. I was very persistent. I kept applying, I kept getting denied. So one day I just sat and said, okay, Lord, is this what you want me to do? Or is this not what you want me to do? Or could it be it is what you want me to do, but just not right now? So when I looked at it from that standpoint and that mind frame, I should say, it made me feel more better about the rejections that I had received, because I said, surely if you're keeping me away from all of these positions, which they were paying six figures or more, I always said, okay, Lord, I didn't get this position and it was making 90K, 100K, 250K. I think the most one was offering was 260K. I was like, if I did not get that position, surely you must have some millions waiting for me. After all, I am a millionaire in the making. But I was like, you know what? You must have some millions waiting for me. You must have something far bigger, better, and greater for me. So instead of me just being depressed or waddling in my depression or upset or mad because I did not get the job, I just put a positive spin on instead of always looking at things so negatively. I just say, hey, something's bigger and better on the horizon. That was not what he has intended for me. So just be patient and wait, which is one of my biggest downfalls. Being patient and waiting. Again, because like I said, because I'm such an anxious person and I want things right here, right now, exactly when I ask for them, it can be very difficult waiting, but God knows he will put some things in your way, some people in your way, that will bring you to a halt and say, okay, you know what? I definitely cannot do this on my own. I thought I could, so I have no choice but to wait. So after my position was eliminated, and I was offered another role, which was the same as that role that I was just eliminated from, but at a pay that I was not willing to accept. I said, okay, Lord, now it's the time. You have been preparing me for this for literally a year and 3 months. Now it's the time. My trust, my hope, my faith is completely in you. I'm trusting. Trusting you now. I know that you have me because you've had me time and time again. And if you've blessed me with this wonderful opportunity that I am leaving, not by choice, but if you have blessed me with this wonderful opportunity, then surely there is something else that has to be bigger, better, and far greater on the horizon for me. Exactly what it is, I don't know. That's something that I'm constantly in conversations with God about and say, okay, Lord, you took me from that place for a reason. So what is my next? And a lot of times we don't understand why God moves us from different places. I was listening to a sermon the other day. This pastor, his name is Darius Daniels, and he said, and it hit home for me. I was like, okay, Lord, I think I'm on to what you're probably trying to do, or what you're probably trying to, tell me, whatnot. But he said there was a situation that this individual was in a job that they absolutely loved. But reasons unbeknownst to them and not of their doing, they were let go from the job. Okay, so But the thing about it is, while they were so hurt and upset and down in the dumps and depressed as to, okay, Lord, this was a wonderful opportunity for me. Why did you yank me from this position? Why did you allow this to happen? 6 months later, the whole department collapsed. So just think, if that person would have still been there 6 months later, they would have gone kaput with everybody else. So like I said, we always may not know what God is doing. It can be hard to trust what God is doing, but we have to understand God can see way far ahead than we can. He can see around the corner. We can only see to the end of it. He can see so far down the road. We can only see what's in front of us. So, like I said, at the end of the day, you have no choice really but to wait on God. Because again, he can do all things exceedingly and abundantly more than we could have ever hoped for, imagined, thought of, or prayed for. So having said that, like I said, my trust and my faith is in God, because I say this all the time, and I had to tell the individuals that I left there at the previous job, they was like, oh my God, are you nervous? Are you scared? Like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, hell yeah, I'm nervous and I'm scared because I don't know what's next. I'm just trusting God. So, but like I said, I try to put a positive spin on everything, and I just looked at it this way. You know what, God? In order for my next to occur, then this had to happen. All good things have to come to an end. As the old saying goes. And while I sometimes look back and say, I really hate that did come to an end, because I really did enjoy my job. I love what I did. And I love the people that I was able to help, the people that I was working with. Some of them. But like I said, God closes one door and surely he's going to open another one. I said, I really feel like God did not bring me this far just to bring me this far, or bring me this far just for me to go back to where I have come from, because we know she ain't going back to poverty. But I said, hey, Lord, if that's the route that you want me to take, I will crawl. Just tell me how long I got to crawl, and I hope it's not gonna be long. But again, like I said, I am just trusting God, and I am pursuing other avenues that I've always wanted to do. Anybody that knows me knows I'm a writer. I absolutely love writing, and that is something that I've always wanted to do for the rest of my life. I know a lot of people look at writing as it's not a job, it's more so a hobby, but to me, writing is more than a hobby. Like I said, writing is my passion. It is it's catharsis for me. It's an outlet for me. It's something that I do to motivate and inspire and help others by sharing my story in hopes of giving them the encouragement to know that, hey, you know what, you are not alone. And if I overcame this, then surely you can overcome what you're going through. So like I said, writing, it's a lot for me. It does a lot for me. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel a whole lot better when I'm down. Even though sometimes I struggle to put that pen to that pad, but at the end of the day, I always produce something that I am happy, to have, particularly starting with my blog, notesbylarue.com. If you are not following me there, get there and get there fast. But, yeah, like I said, writing is my world, it's everything. So I've always told God that when that door closes, which it just did, that I never wanted to work for anybody else again in my life. I wanted to be 100% an entrepreneur, my own boss. I wanted to do things on my way. I wanted to be able to call the shots, go to work when I wanted to go to work. If I didn't feel like going to work that day, I'm not going to work that day. If I feel like, I'm going on vacation, even though I just came off of one 2 weeks ago, I'm going back on vacation. I've always wanted to do things at my speed and on my own timing. I never did like the fact that I had to answer to someone. I never did like the fact that I had to do whatever somebody else wanted me to do and when they wanted me to do it. Even the things that I was not so comfortable with doing, I did them anyway for the sake of, hey, I got to keep my job. You know what? And at the end of the day, I got to pay my bills. But that is no longer the case, because I am working 100% for myself. I enjoy getting up every morning. Well, really, I don't, because I get up every morning between 5 and 5:30, but I do enjoy getting up in the mornings. I have my long time with God, my devotion. Once I'm done with that, I go to the park. I keep up my same traditions that I used to do when I was going into a 9 to 5. I still work out, go home. I come home from working out, shower, get me something to eat, cup of coffee. I sit down in front of my laptop and I get to work. I set my own schedule. If I feel like I'm only going to work 3 or 4 hours today, then I put in just 3 or 4 hours. If I say, well, hey, you know what? I'm going to be out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm going to be out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Whereas I would have to say, okay, let me put in a leave request. Let me request these times off and make sure that nobody is going to be asking for these same times off as well, or there's nothing that's going to be going on in the office that will coincide with, my schedule or what I want to do. I absolutely love getting up, coming into this office. Well, it's actually my office and my glamour room, because I know you see clothes in the back in the couch, but this is my office and my glamour room. Honey's place is what I call it. But I love coming in here and sitting down every morning and doing what I love to do, which is writing. Like I said, although I was relieved from my job, essentially I was absolutely relieved from my job. I was relieved to know that although I enjoyed coming in there every day and who I came in there for, I was relieved to know that I didn't have to come in there every day anymore. I didn't have to make sure I was logging into the computer system at 8 o'clock every day, allowing somebody or letting somebody see, okay, hey, Deidre has logged in. Deidre is doing exactly what she's supposed to be doing. I got tired of that. And so I said, you know what, Lord, I am trusting you. I just know you have something bigger and better for me. And I just have to wait and be patient. That's not to say that I have not had my down days, because Lord knows I have. I've had several down days. Matter of fact, I've had a whole lot of down days. And when I say down, I mean down in the dumps. Not feeling sorry for myself, because I don't feel sorry for myself, because I'm not pathetic. And I'm not in a situation where it requires, one to give me pity. So I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me and what I have gone through. Or I should say what I am going through, because my end result is going to be greater than my starting point. So like I said, I had a lot of down days, a lot of days of uncertainty, a lot of days of anxiety, a lot of days of fear, a lot of days of hopelessness. Because a lot of times, because we don't see things happening or see things the way we thought they would happen, or see things going as fast that we would have wanted them to happen, then we essentially feel like nothing is happening. I'm a very spiritual person, so I drop God a lot. But I said, you know what? Although it may look as if nothing is happening, it may look as if everybody is moving, and I'm not. I am moving. I'm just not moving at the pace that I want to be moving in. But essentially, I am moving. I'm moving towards whatever it is that God has for me. And I know the plans that he has for me are plans for a hope in the future, plans to prosper me and plans not to harm me. Jeremiah 29:11 tells us that. So like I said, it just all boils down to me essentially trusting God. I got to. That's all I have at the end of the day. That's the one that has brought me this far. That's the one that has kept me. I'm very fortunate and blessed to have had the opportunities that I've had. I'm very fortunate and blessed to be able to stay where I wanted, to stay, drive the vehicle that I wanted to drive the vehicle that I wanted to drive. I'm very fortunate and blessed that my bills are paid. I don't have any disconnect notices, no past dues. I don't have to call and ask for a payment arrangement, any extensions. I'm not going to put out my place. That Audi is not going back. So like I said, I'm very blessed and I'm very fortunate, and I'm grateful to God, like I said, for all that he has done for me. So, I said all of this to say, if you are in a situation, now first of all, let me say this, because I don't want nobody going out here, quitting their job saying, well, that girl that I was taking them notes from on YouTube told me to quit my job, so I'm going to quit my job. That is not what I'm saying. You need to confer with God first to see if that is exactly what he wants you to do. Can't do what I did. I conferred with him. I am following his order. I'm being led by the Spirit. So I know what is for me, and I know what he has for me. So you can't do what I do. But what I am saying is, if you're on a job that you are not happy with, I know it's so hard to try to branch out into something else because of this pandemic, and a lot of businesses have gone out of business and jobs are very scarce and few and far in between. I just know for me, I was not willing to sacrifice my peace of mind, because right now my peace of mind is the most expensive thing that I own, and I'm not giving it to anybody. But I was just not willing to sacrifice or compromise my peace of mind, my happiness, my sanity, all for the sake of having a job. A lot of people say, well, I got kids. I'm fortunate I don't have any kids. Not right now, because, them twins coming, and they got to be identical at that. But I'm very fortunate that I don't have any children right now, so those are not any additional mouths that I have to be concerned about, or their well-being that I have to be concerned about, because at the end of the day, it's just me here. I'm just responsible for me, and like I said, I've been making it. I've been doing it. I'm not behind the 8 ball. I'm not struggling. I do not consider myself poor, even though I do not have a 9 to 5 right now. I gotta quit saying I don't have a job, because I do have a job. My job is writing, and writing does afford me money. You know, my book is on Amazon. If you have not copied it or gotten it, it is Words Are Weapons 2, Understanding the Power of Words. So make sure you get your copy today on Amazon or on Kindle. But like I said, I do get money every month. I get royalties, thank God for that, from my Amazon books. My books being on Amazon, like I said, initially in the beginning, they started out doing very, very well. There was a nosedive, but I'm slowly but surely climbing back up that hill. But like I say, a lot of times, we want things to be quick, fast, and in a hurry. You heard me say that like quite a few times, because that's the story of my life. And I don't know why, but I just thought when that book was on Amazon, like, I'm finna sell out. Like, I'm finna sell me 1,000,001 copies. I'm gonna be on the bestsellers. Not yet, but I'm coming. But like I said, all in God's timing. And I know that is what God has for me. And like I said, I live in expectancy. Because like I said, I don't know when it's going to happen, but I know it is going to happen. That's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me happy. And that's what keeps me thriving, because I know that it is on the way. I have to look at things in a positive, standpoint, because if I don't, then my anxiety will come in and it will just take over everything, and I wouldn't be here making these videos. I probably would be in somebody's asylum somewhere. But like I said, I have a positive outlook now on life. Whereas beforehand, I used to be a very pessimistic person. I didn't think anything good could ever happen, especially let alone to me. I was always down in the dumps. I had a bad attitude. I was taking my anger and frustration out on other people, because I was mad at what was transpiring in my life. And I'm like, well, they climbing up the ladder. I want to climb up the ladder. Like, why am I not climbing the ladder? Or why am I not climbing up the ladder as fast as them? You know what? Now, I will admit, I have been jealous before. I made mention of that on my website as well, NoSpelleroo.com. Please make sure you go and read. Are you jealous? You'll be very surprised to find out what you learn about yourself. But I'll be very transparent and say that, I have been jealous of people and their accolades. And the crazy thing about it is, I got a lot going for myself. And a lot of times I don't see myself as having a lot going for myself. I've gotten various awards, I've gotten prestigious, notoriety, whatnot, but it's like, still, it's not enough. I have written about 6 books, and I look at it like it's not enough, even though people look at me and was like, dang, you've written 6 books. I'm like, yeah, I've written 6 books. Like, it's kind of like it's nothing. But it is something, because who do you know write books in the way how often I write books? Typically, authors, it takes them anywhere from 1 to 2 to 3, sometimes longer than that to write books. I've written a book in 48 hours. I've written a book in 18 days. I've written a book in 30 days. And I've written a book now that I'm working on. If I ever get finished with, I'm working on 2 at the same time. It will be the longest that I have gone to complete a book would be about 4 to 5 months. But anyway, like I said, that was just during the periods that I was just completely not motivated, or not trying to do anything. But I came on here today to tell you this. In spite of what it is that you are going through, do know better is on the way. And I know this pandemic is not making it any better. In fact, it's making it absolutely easier for people to get up, because they just do not see, an end in sight. I can't tell you when the end is going to happen, because I don't know. Only God knows that. I cannot tell you when your better is going to come, because only God knows that. But what I can tell you is this. If you would just trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your understanding, and in all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. Proverbs 3:5-6. One of my favorite scriptures in the Bible. But like I said, if you are in need of some motivation and some inspiration and some encouragement, just look back to where you have come from. Especially the people that have started out like me, that was at the bottom of the totem pole and worked their way up. Just look at that. If you came from that, if I have come from living below the poverty line, if I've come from food stamps, I've come from, the lights being disconnected, water being disconnected, gas being disconnected, getting put out, living in hotels, wearing clothes from the Salvation Army. Thank God I can just walk in here or walk in my other room and just say, hey, thumb through and pick what I want to pick. Again, blessed, so very blessed and fortunate for God for what he has done for me. But to come from the Salvation Army and just not having, and to where I am now, I'm like, bitch, you rich. I mean, like, seriously, from where I come from to where I am now, even though I don't have a 9-to-5, I consider myself to be rich. I consider myself to be well off. I consider myself to be doing extremely well, because even though I'm in the situation that I'm in, I am still doing better, way better, not just a little bit better, but way better than a lot of people are doing right now. So again, like I say, just continue to do whatever it is that you are doing. Don't become so enslaved to a job where you feel like that is all you have. That's your bread and butter. I got to do this, because you don't have to do it. Follow your dreams and follow your passions. Like I said, keep dreaming. Don't ever stop dreaming. Keep hoping. Keep wishing. Keep praying more than anything. Please keep praying. Never stop praying. Never ever stop praying. But again, like I say, I just wanted to come on here to let you guys know that I'm still alive. It's just a lot has happened that has caused me to stumble a few times. But, even though I failed, I always managed to get right back up again. Because I always say it's okay to fall down. Just don't you stay there. And thank God I did not stay there and allow my anxiety or my depression to keep me down. So as always, even in the midst of this pandemic, I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone's families are healthy. I hope you're getting ready for Thanksgiving. Make sure you celebrate responsibly. No more than 10 people. Sanitize. Because we want to make sure we do our part to essentially get rid of this virus. So again, I thank you always for tuning in and watching. Until next time, my note takers. Have a wonderful day.